The BBC used artificial intelligence and an actor to bring Agatha Christie to life. Google is funding electrician training to help meet the power demands of AI. And Mark Zuckerberg predicts AI will write most of Meta's code within 12 to 18 months. It's Thursday, May 1st, and this is your morning tech news roundup from Engadget. The BBC announced a new addition to its Maestro series of masterclasses, featuring its first posthumous teacher, Agatha Christie, presenting her writing tips in 4K video. The best-selling author of literature and human history teaches an 11-lesson course on writing mysteries, and the BBC seems very aware of the issues circling AI, which provokes a mix of intrigue and, honestly, wariness. Christie, who died in 1976, has had her likeness composited through a blend of licensed images, limited footage, and past audio recordings. That data has been blended with actor Vivian Keane, who performs the words of Christie on video. This is a more cautious approach. During a Q&A event at the course's launch in London, Keane stated outright that this was a performance. It seems a particularly risky choice, too. A lot of writers, editors, and authors are facing AI tools that reduce job opportunities or absorb their writing without permission to train AI models. The BBC said all the writing advice came directly from her writings, author's notes, and archival interviews curated by leading Christie experts and scholars. Now, one of the stipulations from the Christie estate was that all the writing tips and guidance come directly from her. The makers claim that AI has not filled in the gaps or made guesses about her writing style or what advice she might give. The BBC's Maestro series is part of the company's business arm, offering over 40 courses in the style of masterclass, but with, obviously, a lot more Brits, priced at $10 per month. Google has announced that it's helping to financially support the Electrical Training Alliance, an organization formed by the National Electrical Contractors Association and the International Brotherhood of Electricians. The goal is to train 100,000 electrical workers and 30,000 new apprentices in the U.S. to meet the growing power demands of artificial intelligence. Google's new white paper, Powering a New Era of American Innovation, claimed that using AI will unlock unspecified but positive economic opportunities. In order to take advantage of them, though, the U.S. power grid needs to become more capable and efficient. That's largely because the data centers used to run and train AI models require vast amounts of energy. The white paper claims that new data centers could demand an additional 15 to 90 gigawatts of energy by 2030, something that more efficient chips and model training cannot account for. For a sense of the scale, the U.S. Department of Energy says 1 gigawatt is the equivalent of 103 offshore wind turbines. Google's paper calls for investments in alternative energy sources like nuclear power, but also notes that expanding the electrical workforce is necessary. Currently, though, retiring electricians outnumber newly trained ones. Investing in electrical training is Google's attempt to help change that. It would be nice if it was paired with a clearer explanation around what that AI will be doing with all that extra power. Google notes that there's a causal relationship between energy consumption and economic growth, but skilled job training isn't a bad thing. Mark Zuckerberg says he believes most of Meta's code will be written by artificial intelligence agents sometime within the next year and a half. Zuckerberg made the prediction during an hour-long interview with podcaster Dwarkesh Patel. This is not the first time that Zuck has made this type of prediction. During his awkward appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience earlier this year, he said, "Probably in 2025, we at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that can effectively be a sort of mid-level engineer that you have at your company that can write code." Now, Notice how the goalposts have moved? Less than 5 months ago, Zuckerberg said coding agents that could effectively replace most human programmers were within reach. Now, those same systems will not arrive until mid-2026 at the earliest. The changing timelines underscore exactly why we should be critical of the AI industry and its many promises. AI agents may very well one day replace mid-level programmers, but right now, predictions like the one made by Zuckerberg and many others are, at best, advertisements for technologies that don't yet exist and may never perform at the level their advocates say they will. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Matt Smith, Ian Carlos Campbell, and Igor Bonifasic, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer by a real human voice. No AI was used in recording and producing this episode. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.